I'm back. We're back. So this is after almost every game. I missed the past couple games because we had the Yankees, the UFC was on, but almost every game I'm going to recap the State of the Union um, of the New York Rangers until we win a Stanley Cup. I've been a fan since '96 and haven't seen the Rangers win a Stanley Cup, so that's the goal here. Might as well get to it. This Church of Kakko thing I keep hearing about is I hate this thing so much. Like Kakko isn't exactly blowing the roof off the Madison Square Garden, and the one thing the Rangers don't need is just like sacrilegious rituals inside of the Garden once we finally get a very hot prospect. Like I don't know. And then I saw what that Church of Kakko dude looks like inside of the Garden. And like the thing that I thought of is like sometimes bullying can be very productive. Like your mother sends you to school with a pink shirt or like a salmon color or purple shirt or something, and all your friends make fun of you, and then you go home and then you don't wear, or you tell your mother, don't send me to school with a pink shirt or something like that, or your friends will like call you names and stuff, and like because you're being an idiot, and then you like don't be an idiot. Like whoever that Church of Kakko dude is, like kind of sometimes I don't know, maybe could have used some productive bullying. Georgiev. Now last year, Georgiev, I didn't really take him seriously in that we had Shoshagan over in the KHL coming up, and I never really took him seriously as like someone who's a possible replacement for Henrik Lundqvist. Henrik Lundqvist's hair today, anytime he sits on the bench, his hair is sensational. If anyone knows of what shampoo product he's sponsoring, please let me know. But the point is, this Alex Georgiev guy is a very real thing. I don't know if it's my own fault for not recognizing it, but this Georgiev guy is really good. And I always thought he would be traded at the deadline. When Shoshagan was ready, he would be traded at the deadline. I'm an attributes guy. I want my goalies to be long and skinny, and I don't think Georgiev has enough size. When he, at least last year, that was my thinking. And this Georgiev kid is good. I no longer just want to pawn him off like we did Antti Ranta, like we did. Who was that tier 2 goalie that we traded to Edmonton? Talbot. Talbot out there. This kid could be good, man. So I don't know. That's something. This whole Potvin Sucks thing, I noticed it again. It happens at the Garden, and as a fan, when Gretzky got traded here, that's like when I was a kid, when I first like can think back of when I first started following the Rangers. Every time I hear that chant, I just remember how good the Islanders used to be and how awesome Dennis Potvin is. Like, as someone who doesn't really know who Dennis Potvin is, if it wasn't for that chant, like that's what that person thinks about. Like if I'm a Rangers fan and I'm going into like I don't know, New Jersey or something, and they're like, Mike Richter sucks every game, that's awesome. Like this tradition needs to die. Like good traditions sometimes just need to die. They have their place in time, and they just need to die. And this whole Potvin Sucks thing needs to die. I don't know when it will happen. Hopefully within my lifetime, but it needs to go. It's got to go. Adam Fox. Now every team I've been noticing in the NHL, like Tyson Barrie just got over to Toronto. I think that Cal Maker guy for the Avalanche, who's actually kind of tied into Adam Fox a little bit. But like every team needs that like defenseman, especially right-handed defenseman, that like hangs onto the puck, like can maneuver in space. Now a couple games ago, Adam Fox had a massive turnover that led to a goal. And that will happen more and more. That will not be the first time that Adam Fox turns the puck over. But Adam Fox needs to learn and evolve and know and get better at that, because every good team needs that defenseman that offensive defenseman that can find space, that can beat a defender. And I like what I see from Adam Fox in the way he does that. Just little dekes inside of his zone, not necessarily just chucking the puck up, just little dekes, holding onto the puck, holding it a little bit, finding space, making the better pass instead of a pass. And I see a lot of that in Adam Fox. He's going to make a ton of mistakes this year. But as our third defenseman, I don't even know about the pairings, but our third defenseman, that I really want to see that kid play. I like that kid a lot. Speaking of Adam Fox, Tony DeAngelo. That kid, he's unbelievable start to the year. And can I just say this? Like, Tony DeAngelo, every time you talk about him on the Rangers, like any Ranger subreddit or the Rangers like forum online, it's like he may or may not have allegedly called one of his own teammates a bad name in juniors. But like, let it go, guys. Like, everyone calls him a racist, and like it's like barrage of like this racist, homophobic, like bad person. Dude, let it go. Like, if everyone was judged by the stuff you did when you were 18, like, I don't know, man. I don't get it. But Tony DeAngelo, 2 goals today. He's sensational, and that's awesome. I cannot wait for Tony DeAngelo to really. He struggled in the beginning of the year with his defensive play, but it does look like he's being caught up. It does look like he's becoming a difference maker on the ice, which is like pretty amazing to say, because I mean, what are we paying him, $1 million or something a year? It's on a 1-year deal. He's playing for his contract. And he is playing really, really well. In the beginning of the year, he kept getting beat wide, but it looks like he's been okay. Now, I'm going to cut to the end of my little bullet points here, because Tony DeAngelo held out, looked bad, and then is playing well. You know who else held out, looked bad in the beginning of the year? Brendan Lemieux. I'm waiting for him to be a difference maker. Brendan Lemieux needs to put his bucket on the ice. Like, we need to see that afro. He needs to mix it up in front of the net. He needs to be a difference maker. Everyone's complaining about who's the fourth line? I don't even know his name. Haley something. The fourth liner. I don't know. Everyone's complaining about signing that guy, and like all these guys down, like Philip Hedl down in the AHL. Like, Brendan Lemieux needs to be that guy that gets in front of the net, the guy that, you know what, like, take a bad penalty once in a while, like, run someone through the boards, like, that's what he needs to do. Start scrums, like, I don't know, he had a breakaway, he tried that little forehand backhand between open the legs up move on DeAngelo's first goal. But I really haven't seen him. That it was kind of like a gifted 2-on-1 where Buch passed it over to him, and then he just couldn't finish on it. But it's alright. It doesn't mean you're not going to finish on every breakaway. It's the NHL. But I just haven't noticed him anywhere else, like in the corners. And he needs to make a big hit, something like get in a fight, get his bucket on the ice. Like, let's see the goofy hair. Like, that's what he needs to be for the Rangers to be successful. Marc Staal. He's such a lovable character. Like, I'm gonna take in, like, he is a fan favorite. A couple of videos ago, like, it's amazing how Marc Staal turned into such a hated character on the team because of his cap hit, and he's not tremendous at hockey anymore. He had that eye injury, and there's a history there. But it's amazing to me that Marc Staal turns into kind of a little bit of a fan favorite. I know he's taken heat, like, every time I listen to anything, it's how bad Marc Staal is, but, like, I feel like deep down Ranger fans kind of like him. He had some pretty funny, like, he was trying to get the, he's really not that great at hockey, like, but I do think he he has had a he's kind of a fan favorite, which is interesting to me because he's really bad at hockey and his cap hit is real high. But all right, speaking of bad at hockey, Buchnevich should not be on the power play. Now, the one thing that stands out to me specifically with Buchnevich on the power play is he's slow. Like, you know how, like, when you're younger and, like, you're just stick handling by everyone and, like, and then you're just, like, you're just so good. And then all of a sudden you get up in the higher and, like, the more competitive teams. And all of a sudden you try stick handling it by someone and you, like, corral the puck, dust it off, and then, like, try to go forehand to backhand and go around, puck gets taken from you. That's what Buchnevich reminds me of. Like a guy who just like has to dust off the puck every single time. And on the power play, you can't do that. On the power play, Buchnevich is too slow with the puck. He doesn't have quick decision-making ability. He has a decent one-timer off the top of my head. But like, dude, battling in the corners, he's not there. He never will be. He will never ever be a guy that wins battles in the corners. And I don't see what he's good at. Like, I hope he does better. But if he's not on that first line playing that ugly duckling role, where is he gonna play on the team? Like, Kreider took some of that time tonight. Jesper Fast took some of that time tonight, and I love it. Like, there is something to be said about you only really need two guys on the first line, and you need a third guy that doesn't hold them up. When I play golf with my buddies who are really good, I don't hold up the game. I am not good at golf. They are very good. I played hockey long enough where I can drive the ball, and I'm not going to hold up the game. And that's like that. What that third ugly duckling role is. And maybe that is the spot for Buch, but it's not a benefit for Buch. Like it's not like Buchnevich is going to just be a star player, but he's just going to be on that third line. Like Vlad Namestnikov down with Stammer and Kucherov is a prime example of what Buchnevich is doing right now to a lesser extent. But I don't know where you play him. Like he's going to be on that first line. He's going to get 50 points. And all the Rangers fans who are like, Buchnevich is the greatest player, are going to be like, he got 50 points this year. Like, sign him up to $6 million a year. He's just not good, and he shouldn't be on that. He shouldn't be on the power play. And maybe the coach was like giving him an incentive, like starting the year off. You were gonna play on that first line, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And in the grand scheme of things, he's gonna take it away from him. Like that's gonna be the incentive for Buch to battle in the corners, because we're not gonna. If you can't battle in the corners, you really aren't they really aren't an effective player. Like even Artemi Panarin, I feel like when the playoffs ever come around, like you're gonna see him kind of struggle with the battling in the corners when the game speed picks up. Not because he can't see the ice. He's exceptional at finding space on the ice and holding on to the puck and finding guys with space. But you're gonna see him struggle when the physicality of the NHL playoffs comes. And Buchnevich is just. I don't know. I'm just not a Buch guy. But all right, like I said, I'm gonna do these for most every game. Like I said, we had the Yankees, and there were some UFC things. There was like a day game mixed in there, and I just with work, and I just couldn't get, couldn't find the consistency to do everyone. But at least every other game or something, I'm planning on doing this, the State of the Union recaps until the New York Rangers win the Stanley Cup. So I will see you next time. Well, let me check my calendar here. My little Apple calendar. I will see you guys on Thursday. See you guys on Thursday.